basically very few items, what I'm calling transitioning from CPA to ACCA. ACCA stands for Association of Certified Chartered Accountants. Association of Certified Chartered Accountants. It's one of the biggest professional accountants body in the world. We are talking of like 400,000 members spread across the world. Members of who? ACCA. Now, ladies and gentlemen, in this case here, I would want us to first of all look at my ACCA qualifications. Courtesy of ACCA, what have I been able to get? Courtesy of ACCA, you can see like this concept of professional ethics module, which Kasneb has just introduced right now. I did mine in this case here in 2011. Courtesy of who? ACCA. Courtesy of ACCA. All right. And then, of course, leave alone that, I will come straight away to, like, this is where I got my master's from. It's called Edinburgh Business School, again, courtesy of ACCA. All right. Those are individual units. It's a very serious, like now, this is my undergraduate degree that I got courtesy of ACCA. Courtesy of ACCA, I'll be able to explain here. You can see Joshua Ayusa Aura on the 26th of March, 2013. I was awarded with this Bachelor of Science with the upper second class honors in applied what year? Applied accounting. Now, this is my membership certificate. So you can see they have a very good certificate there. Member this to certify that Joshua Ayusa Aura was admitted a member of the association on the 15th of October, 2012. Given under the seal of the association on 24th November 2012. So you can see in this case here, this is the Association of Chartered Certified Accountants, Association of Chartered Certified Accountants, like that. Ladies and gentlemen, please listen and listen to me very well. First of all, before I continue, there are these guys who are making comparisons between ACCA and CPA. Which one do you think is superior between ACCA and CPA? Quite a bad question, but I normally see people making comparisons. Ala. I don't, okay, great. Now, I don't think so. I think, ladies and gentlemen, especially in the local market, of course, CPA is what here is superior. In the local market, CPA is superior. That one we have to accept. The only thing that makes ACCA a little bit superior to CPA, it's because of the add-ons. ACCA, in terms of skills, knowledge acquisition, you'll acquire more knowledge by doing ACCA than you would do by doing CPA. Why? Number one, since our old days, ACCA went ahead right away and discovered that in 2020s, I mean, people will not be doing things manually. ACCA introduced computerized exams a long time ago. Right now, if you do ACCA, you will not be able to go to an exam center and then you start writing, handwriting. I mean, that's, in this case here, archaic. All right. We have now moved to this situation where the accountant is doing everything in computers. The accountant is doing everything, ladies and gentlemen, in computers, from Excel, in this case here, to all these great automated solutions of financial reporting. Is there anybody who at the workplace today is doing, for example, the daybook vouchers, those daybook, sales daybook, for example, manually, where they're writing manually? Is there anybody who is working for that kind of an organization? Please be honest with me. Is there anybody who is having that situation where, for example, in this case here, they're working for an organization where they are doing everything manually? I will really doubt, because even when we speak like this, we know that there are so many other businesses currently are processing lots of transactions. Businesses, even small ones, right now are able to push So you'll have to bear with me. Internet in Tanzania, these guys, I mean, Kenya is like paradise. Sometimes I'll be disappearing. Internet over here, even in very good hotels, internet over here is not the very best, but we shall overcome, right? We shall overcome. So of course, if I disappear totally and you realize that you have been given administration admin rights, you should be able to continue with the meeting. Say exactly what I wanted to say. Say exactly what I wanted to say. Great. So, ladies and gentlemen, ACCA, in terms of skills acquisition, these guys are top notch. You'll be able to acquire from simple skills. You know, why would want you to be doing most of the things like through computers? It's because of like now the typing speed. You know, an accountant currently should be able to enter into a meeting like myself. And of course, in this case here, whatever is being discussed there, don't take minutes in this case here by hand. You should be able to type those minutes, ladies and gentlemen, very well, of course, either in a spreadsheet or even in a normal Word document. And very well taken minutes here with action points, deadlines, etc. And you're doing that as people are speaking. That is now the environment we find ourselves in. We should be able to do that. So ACCA was able, you know, like, for example, if you do an ACCA, like, for example, we have a paper called F7, Financial Reporting. Those guys would want to type everything. From those consolidations, working everything. At first, when we were doing it, I mean, we thought that we would not really be able to ace through because of what that computer requirement. But I mean, we were able to pass because, I mean, once you know that you shall be doing an exam in a computerized environment, it will just force you. Those things will come. You'll find yourself in this case, you're typing very fast, knowing the home keys, ASDF, JKL, semicolon. You don't even have to look at, for example, the keyboard. All right. So in terms of skills acquisition, yes, knowledge-wise, ACCA will get a lot. But also in CPA, we are also trying our very best, given this CBC kind of training. We expect by 20, say 25, 27, all the exams of CASNEB will be computerized. Will be computerized. Will that be a good thing or a bad thing? We must engage, we must talk. Will that be a good thing or a bad thing? To have all exams like you're doing your advanced financial reporting, in this case here online. You're doing your financial reporting online. Super, yes. That's now where we are going. And that is why I normally sympathize with any student. When I get a student, in this case, who does not have a laptop, you are here doing CPA section 1, CPA section 2. Of course, I know that times are hard. But given the profession you have chosen, you cannot work without a laptop. Given the profession you have chosen, ladies and gentlemen, you cannot afford to be going now for physical classes. That thing of going for physical classes, looking for us that you would want to study with us physically, that thing is long gone. Right now, you have to strive, ladies and gentlemen, to attend all your classes, even universities. If you're going to a university, in this case, which does not have virtual classes, that's not a very good university. I mean, there are skills you'll be able to get, ladies and gentlemen. There are skills you are able to get, ladies and gentlemen, online. When you're online, you're able to know how to share your screen. You are able to know how to even mute your mic, simple things, how to stop video, simple things, how to chat there, simple things. I mean, you are exercising computer knowledge, all right? You're exercising computer knowledge. So to me, I always believe at times you'll get people telling you like a paper like BDA, how do I study online? I mean, online is the way to go. Like last semester, I had 430 students doing BDA with me. All right. It is the thing. It is the in thing right now. So get back to our story here. ACCA. ACCA has got, broadly speaking, 2 levels. Broadly speaking, ACCA has got how many levels? 2 levels. We have what we call the fundamental level and the professional level. Fundamental level and the professional level. Will allow me to move slowly here because I believe there are students who are taking notes. So fundamental level is what we used to call the Fs. Those days, like F1 to F9. Nowadays, we no longer call them Fs. But still, those papers remain F1 to F9. And then the professional level, we call them the P. We used to call them the P papers, right? There are 7 in total. So professional are 9, P papers are 7 in total. Oh, I'm being, okay. Are you guys able to hear Mwalimu? Are you guys able to hear Mwalimu really? I could be breaking. I'm handling this from Tanzania. And as I told you, here there are very many challenges. Very good country, but I mean, infrastructure in terms of internet, Kenya is, Kenya is way ahead. Kenya is way ahead. You'll get, for example, big beach hotel here. I mean, having internet that keeps on dropping, but we shall overcome. Thank you very much. At least they are able clear. Thank you very much. Great. Now, ladies and gentlemen, so fundamental level, 9 papers. Professional level, how many papers? 7 papers. Now listen, this fundamental level, if you are a CPA registered with ISPAC, you are exempted from all the fundamental papers. You're exempted from all the fundamental papers. You'll only do the professional papers. And professional papers, mandatory, you have to do 4. There are others in this case which are optional, but you must do 4 professional papers. There are those ones which are mandatory, plus others which are elective. So mandatory, we have, for example, what we call the strategic business reporting, SBR. Then we have strategic business leader. Those 2 are mandatory. And then now you come and choose from these other 4, you choose 2. Many students will always go for advanced financial management and a AAA, advanced auditing and assurance. Although we have papers like advanced performance management, we have papers like advanced taxation. Advanced taxation is easy, but you see the international one, because you're not used to those rates and whatever, it can really harass you. That's why very many guys will trickle down to what year? To advanced financial management and the AAA. So once you do advanced financial management, you are doing, in this case here, advanced auditing and assurance. And then we have strategic business reporting, strategic business leader. Then would have done the 4 papers like that in the professional level. So what I'm saying, and I'm repeating again, that if you are a member of ISPAC in good standing, you'll be able to get 9 exemptions from ACCA in the fundamental level. In the fundamental level, I can see good notes here. Mwalimu, this is not what ACCA said. They only gave 6 papers. They said the MOU, I'm just reading here. Let me just get back here a bit. Perhaps this guy has got, they said the MOU between ISPAC and them is no longer there. They don't need proof of registration with ISPAC. I cannot comment on that, but that's quite a good indicator. I should be able to go and confirm with them. The ACC office here in Kenya is quite close to me. I'll be able to talk to them. But I mean, the way it was, like during our times, in this case here, we got 9 exemptions in the fundamental level. And then, of course, in this case here, 4 papers in the professional level we were doing. But now listen, if you want their first degree, they will give you only 5 exemptions in the fundamental level. If you want their first degree, even if they have given you 9, you must forfeit some exemptions. So you'll only be able to take advantage of how many exemptions if you want their first degree, 5 papers. And then you'll be able to do 4 papers in the fundamental level, what we call the degree papers. They are normally 4 in the fundamental levels. Which papers are these? We have financial reporting if you're writing. Financial reporting. We have auditing and assurance, AA. That's the second one. Then we have, in this case here, financial management and the performance management. So fine, even if they give you, all right, 9 exemptions, I'll always tell my students like myself, before I started doing ACC, I had another degree. If you want, in this case here, they are undergraduate. If you want their first degree, ladies and gentlemen, there are those fundamental papers that you must do. You must write to them and tell them, I'm forfeiting these 4 exemptions because I would want to get your first degree. And those papers are what here? Financial reporting, financial management, we have performance management, and auditing and assurance. Those 4 papers are the degree papers. Once you finish those 4 degree papers, ACCA will need you to write what we call a RAP, research analysis project, of about 40 to 50 pages. All right. They've given you various topics, 20 topics, you choose one. And then you write your research paper based on those 20 topics, any one of them. All right. And once you finish, then you get an undergraduate from Oxford Brookes University, OBU, an Ivy League university, renowned globally, Oxford Brookes University. All right. All right. So I'm repeating again. Please allow me to repeat myself severally. That, ladies and gentlemen, once in this case here, you realize you need their degree. And there are so many guys who, out of lack of exposure, they'll go to ACC and they say, hey, I have a degree from Mount Kenya. Hey, I have a degree from University of Nairobi, so I don't want your degree. These degrees, the more you have, the better. Look at someone like the late Mugabe. I mean, Nelson Mandela. I mean, they had many degrees. The more the degrees you have, the better. Why would you forfeit your right to a degree, an international qualification degree, which you are not even sweating to get? These are only 4 papers you are doing. 4 papers you shall do in 6 months exactly. You'll do those 4 papers in 6 months exactly. You have, in this case here, plus that research paper, you have your undergraduate degree from a UK university, one of the best universities in the UK. All right. So I can see comments here. Please, yes. All right. Or the net is fluctuating. We shall overcome. Yes, the applied knowledge level first 3 papers, does it have a certificate? Yes, remember you will get what we call a diploma. Actually, once you do the first 4, you do 3, and then plus a 4th one, law. Then you get a diploma in business, something in business. Although today I'm not talking about that. Today I'm addressing people who are coming to this route through CPA, through CPA. Great. Now we go to the elephant in the house, the fees. What information do you have about ACCA in terms of fees in the market? Is it a very expensive course? What information do you have? Because you must be having some information which actually led you guys to do CPA, not ACCA. Yeah, they are saying it's very expensive. It's not cheap, very expensive. Very expensive, very expensive. Not really. Not really. Yes, 18,000 per paper, around that. Ladies and gentlemen, ACCA is the cheapest. If there is anybody who assisted me in my entire life, it's Dr. McPhee, who told me, Dr. McPhee of Strathmore, that's a guy I should always be, in this case here, bowing down anytime I see him, and call him even a guru. Because this guy, has got a way of advising young people. And I was able to, in this case here, do whatever he told me. All right? It's a bit expensive. No. ACCA is the cheapest course ever. Cheapest in the world. You can't get any course that is cheaper than ACCA. Mwalimu, why are you saying that? You see, like now, these 4 papers, ACCA examination fees per paper is about 20,000. Examination fees per paper is 20,000, and they of course allow you to do as few as 1 paper in a term. So ACCA exam fees is 20,000 per paper. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we shall charge you 10,000 school fees. So that means we are charging you, or rather it will cost you like 30,000 per paper. So those 4 papers will cost you 120,000. The research analysis may cost you around another 40,000. Talk of 40 or even 60,000. Give it the highest amount, because you'll come to me for mentorship. All right. So then that gives you 60 plus 120. That gives you about 180,000 maximum. And then you get a degree from an international university. With 180,000, you can't get a degree even from Methodist here. You can't. All right. So with about 180,000, you have an undergraduate. And I mean, this is something that will revolutionize even how you're thinking. Remember, ACCA, their papers, unfortunately, I normally share their books with you guys. The people that I teach, I normally share their ACCA books with you guys, and you can attest to their quality. All right, you can attest to their quality. Those are not things that you'll just come and write a paper here. Like when I used to teach in these universities, like, I mean, you teach, like, as a teacher, teach 3 topics, and then you give, for example, you give like a handout, and then guys come and sit for some paper, and then no. ACCA is as a standard examination. Once you do those 4 papers, amongst the key qualifications you'll come out with, computer skills, your computer skills will improve, will go at top notch level, all right? And then, of course, number 2, we're also looking at, I mean, even the speed, you are thinking, like how they do their ratio analysis, all right? And then, of course, you'll be hardened as an accountant because ACCA is way tougher than CPA. It's way tougher than CPA. The pass mark is always 50%. And that's why I tell students who come to ACCA, you can only survive if you do a maximum of 2 at a time. Don't do 3 papers of ACCA. You cannot pass. You do 2 or 1 at a time. 2 or 1 at a time. All right. You know, their papers, a big percentage of their questions are multiple choice, and their multiple choices are very close to call. You can't, I mean, those guys are very, very clever. They're very, very clever. They're very, very clever. They're very, very clever. All right. All right. So in this case here, ACCA is cheap. Why is it cheap? Why is it cheap? Second reason why I normally tell students that ACCA is very cheap. ACCA talks of collaborations. It has a lot of cooperations with universities and even local qualification bodies. Like somebody who has done ACCA, when they want to come here and do CASNEB, how many papers do they do? Look at this corporation. Anybody who has done ACCA and they would want to do CPA, they only do 2 papers, company law and what year? Taxation, only 2. Now, somebody, ladies and gentlemen, who has done ACCA at the University of London, how many papers will they do to get a master's? Only 2 research papers. You do 2 research papers in 6 months. I mean, you have a master's from these greatest of the greatest universities globally, University of London. All right. I mean, you'll be able to save lots of time. And remember these ACCA papers, because then they have 4 exams in a year. There are 4 exams in a year. You can clear your entire ACCA in 1 year, and then you get all those qualifications very fast, and nobody can doubt them. I have students who have done ACCA, Oxford Brookes University, from ACCA, the ACCA route, and they're using this Oxford Brookes University degree to do their masters even locally here. Anywhere you take that degree, it will be what you accepted. It's recognized, yes, everywhere. Recognized everywhere. When do they take the exams? We have exams in March, June, September, and December. March, June, September, and December. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. And the ACCA, yeah, 2 months of studying, about 2.5 months of studying. But you see, they give you a lot of resources. Like now we have videos for you. And again, you know, even CASNEB, if CASNEB in this case here wanted to be very fair to the students, they should remove that limit of 3 papers. If they can allow you guys to sit for 2 papers, even if they do 4 exams in a year, then things will be manageable. If there is any advice I would want to give to my friend, Dr. Langat, because I know in this case here, they listen. letting them in. In this case, is to give these students flexibility. I mean, let them do 2 papers, even 1 paper. All right. Some guys here are very, very busy, very, very busy. Give them that. So ACCA gives you that place. So even if there are fewer studying months with 1 paper, even if also, ladies and gentlemen, you're bewitched, if you're given 1 paper to study for 2 months, don't you think you'll pass? Don't you think you'll pass? So even CASNEP should be able to flex a little bit. They should be able to allow students here to pick fewer papers at a time, even 1 paper. They should actually introduce 4 exams in a year, and then if possible, because even that concept of many exams in a year, it's a global, everybody is moving that way. Allow 4 exams in a year, but allow also students here to pick very few papers as few as what year as 1 paper, Ama wakiangalia revenue, wakiangalia revenue, wakiangalia revenue waseme maybe then 2, but not 3. 3, there are students like in the advanced level, those papers are crazy. You know, the AFM we teach in the advanced level, that paper when you go to MSc, Finance University of Nairobi, or even KU, that paper is spread across the MSc program. We have a paper on derivatives. We have a paper on real estate finance, all right? And all those papers now are being put in just 1 paper they are calling advanced financial management. Why do you want to kill these students here? You tell a person to do that paper, AFR, and then we have leadership. And then we have another one now who also wants to ban the entire house, also bringing like audit and assurance in this. And they want to do everything in how many months? Even at times, students, why the rush? Why the rush? You also mess up with yourselves. I know of so many students who take antidepressants because of CASNEP. I'll do 3. CASNEP is not going anywhere. You'll always get CASNEP there at Upper Hill. Of course, as a college owner, I would want you to do more papers, but again, I don't want you to be depressed. I would want you to come out of this thing alive. Enjoy the experience. Like now, students who are doing 4 papers last semester, honestly, how was the experience like? I know in this lower level, you can really juggle up, because even the lower level, most of those students are not working. Most of them, they have the time. But this advanced level, guys who are doing 4 papers, let's talk. Guys who are doing 4 papers last time, you even at times meet them in town. The way they are walking, they don't even want to say hi. They don't want even to say hi. It's an international disaster. The guys who are, they are not even responding. They can't even respond here. They can't even, it was hectic. It's not easy. It's not easy. Niko hapa. Limo, that's okay. 6 papers, intermediate level. Most of those people are from university straight, or even from high school straight. Most of those guys in the foundations level, then they have the time. They're full-time students. They're not even thinking of how they are going to eat, how they're going to get their next meal. Their parents are taking care of that 100%. Then they have all the time to study. They can even do 10 papers. But once in this case, ladies and gentlemen, this is a word of advice, you have a very tough job. You are someone's husband. You have kids. You have got so many other obligations here. In this case, you're beckoning for your attention. Don't do 4. CASNEP is not going anywhere. Slow but sure. Slow but sure. I'm so sure that's quite a bad advice to most of you. AFR was tough. I did 5 in April, advanced level. Great. Of course, if you're not working, then no problem. You can do all of them. But if you're working, please, my free advice to you, move pole pole. Move pole pole. So I think then we have been able to capture most of these things, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, Langat, it's not easy having kids to take care of, a busy job. I know of not 1 or 2 people, who get into that depression levels until they have to take antidepressants because of these exams. You get somebody, in this case, you're waking up at 3 a.m. and this is a guy who slept at 10 p.m. Look at that. Why? But I also know one problem. Most of us, I don't know, for whatever reason, we get to cheat our employers that we have finished CPA. Most of us, for some reason. So then you'll be under a hell of pressure to to finish them. If I were you, I would just move slowly, do 3 papers next semester, so that the other semester I'll not do one. It's also good to do double specialization. You can do double specialization. Where would I encourage a double specialization? It's because of, where we are going, ladies and gentlemen, in the near future, 2 or 3 years down the line, auditing will really be paying, audit and tax. And you can see now the new direction is that if you do advanced audit alone, you can't be a tax practitioner in Kenya. If you want a composite license like the one that I have, Aura and Company CPA is a composite license holder. I can do advisory services, I can do taxation, I can do auditing and assurance. I mean, everything, tax, transfer pricing, everything. If you need that kind of a composite license, then you have to do double specialization. So if I do you, I would do 3, and then the other semester I do 2. Instead of having, like, for example, if you have a license just doing audit alone, you and I know that auditing does not have a lot of money outside here. Because audit, even a big, like I have a friend of mine called Mokaya. Mokaya is one of the partners under SKM. Actually, as we speak, we are with him here in Tanzania. There's some engagement we are working on. All right. He was telling me the other day, like a big firm like Safaricom, if you look at their financial statements, how much do they pay in terms of audit fees? Something small. And yet you have to do quite a lot of work. I'm not saying that it's a bad profession, but you cannot compare this with a tax practice. Tax practice is very good. I would want to get a tax practicing license if I were your age. So if I were your age, I would do 3 compulsory ones, and then I do 2 next semester for the concept of what a double specialization. All right. The proof of completion sum, great. Make your compulsory, you'll still be allowed. That again reminds me that now AMA from next semester, for students who are joining us for the very first time, in the advanced level next semester, AMA is compulsory. Or for the students who are in the advanced level, if you don't succeed in any paper, if you get a fail in all the papers you are doing this time around, all right, then you'll be forced to do AMA. Because for you to be able to run away from AMA, you must get a pass, at least in one of the papers in the advanced level. That is the condition. You must get a pass in at least one paper in the advanced level. So pray hard. If you get fail in all the papers that you did, then on top of those many fails, you'll be given AMA to crown up everything, which is quite unfortunate, because now with the AMA being brought as a compulsory paper, then you'll be having so many compulsory papers down here. But nevertheless, we shall overcome. ED is saying surely, but we shall overcome, right? With taxation specialization, can one, yes, you'll be able to practice tax, yes. Can one be allowed to do if one did AMA and AAA? Yes. They allow you to go back and pick whatever specialization you had not done. Even if you're a member of ISPAC, after your past BD, you have become even a member of ISPAC, you can come back and pick a specialization that you did not do and you're willing to do it for purpose of your work. You're allowed, yes. I think we're drifting. We're here to talk about ACCA. So CPA guys, in this case, you are coming over here, they'll do very few papers, they'll get so many exemptions, and they'll be able to get a degree, and they'll be able to get, ladies and gentlemen, in this case here, a master's very easily. Like myself, I never went to the University of London. I went the Edinburgh way. ACC has also made arrangements with Edinburgh. It's pronounced as Edinburgh, or rather written as Edinburgh, but it's Edinburgh. That's how you pronounce it. So ACC, that MSc in finance has quite a number of papers, but if you're an ACC, you are exempted from most of those papers. You do very few papers. In less than 6 months, you have your master's, like that. So ACCA talks of collaborations. So for example, ACCA has made arrangements with a body called CC. CC is Chartered Institute of Securities and Investments. If you're an ACCA, you'll only do 2 papers with CC, all right? And once you become a CC member, you walk to CASNEB here, now you'll be able to get ICFA without writing any paper, because CC is a natural partner of CIFA, all right? They have also done the same with the Institute of Chartered Secretaries and Administrators. If you're an ACCA, you'll again do, it used to be 1 paper. Nowadays, they're talking of 2 papers, office and secretarial practice. Once you get that ICASA qualification, I like this aspect of you walking to CASNEB and getting a free of charge water qualification. ACCA is a big thing. It's only guys have never understood it. They only judge it on the basis of what tier 2 things, on the basis of cost and on the basis of it being hard. Otherwise, ACCA is, especially if you're a CPA, this is the way to go. Lastly, as you go the ACCA way, I would want you to also take keen. You listen to this very, very keenly. Listen to this very, very keenly. We have this body called the Institute of International Tax Accountant, something like that. I'm able to get the proper name. International Tax Practitioners. There's a course that they do. ACCA really recommends that course. After you do, in this case here, their taxation, if you want to do their taxation, they'll always tell you to go and do that course. International, get the proper name and I'll send it here. All right. You can also do it when you're a CPA. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, there are so many multinationals outside that are really, really struggling. Multinationals which have got, for example, the head office in the UK, subsidiaries in Kenya here, head office in Kenya, subsidiaries in Tanzania, they would want international tax practitioners, and there are very few. People can, for example, do a transfer pricing policy for a multinational. Very few Kenyans can do that, very few. Simply because most of us have chosen to be local champions. And as I normally joke with my students, you are a student in this case here at Kirinyaga Girls. Now you go to Kirinyaga, that's primary, Kirinyaga Girls Secondary. If there is a Kirinyaga University, you go there. And then you get married to a man from Kirinyaga. So we pray that you don't die and be married in Kirinyaga. I mean, don't ever endeavor to be just a village champion. You're doing everything local. Look at all the CEOs that we have, from the CEO, Safaricom current guy, Joshua Igara, my student long time ago. All those guys have got something on their hats. They've got very important feathers here, which are international. You must have some international qualification somewhere. Don't be a local champion. Some of these small courses you're doing, and ensure that they are what? They're international. And ensure that they are international. And ensure that they are international. And ensure that they are international. They are international. And ensure that they are international. Are we together up to there, ladies and gentlemen? Are we together up to there? Are we together up to there? Are we together up to there? All right. Yes, we offer ACCA at RCM. We are charging now 10,000 per paper. 10,000 per paper. Please, you need to register with us, and then we get started on the 3rd. On the 3rd. Great. So that's quite a beautiful challenge. We shall not be local champions. Dennis, don't be a local champion. Don't be a local champion. On top of doing these international feathers, if you get an international lady to also marry, you should never be limited. Don't be limited in this life. Don't be limited in this life. This is a funny life. Don't be a local champion, no. Don't be a local champion. Yeah, great. So that is all about ACCA. Which one should I start with? If possible, you can start with CPA like how most of you did. Start with CPA because of what? CPAs will easily pass ACCA papers. because also what we teach you in CPA is quite close to what is being taught in ACCA. Once you do CPA, you mature up very fast. And of course, when you get now these ACCA papers, you'll be able to pass. I've seen guys who go the ACCA route directly and they're not able to pass. Right from the first paper, they're not able to pass because ACCA wants you to be good at what you're doing. ACCA is not a joke. The moment in this case, and that's why they tell you to do just 9 papers. The moment you do 9 papers, I mean, you are as good as somebody actually who has a master's. In the UK, all UK, Scotland, wherever, ladies and gentlemen, ACCA is normally placed at the same level with masters. Same level with masters. Actually, even the other day when K and QA were placing CPA with undergraduates, I mean, they never did any benchmarking. If you do benchmarking, look at chartered accountants of England and Wales, chartered accountants of India. Those and the ACCA, those things are normally put at master's level. They're not serious, easy papers. They're normally put at master's level straight away. Master's level straight. You should not do CPA and then you go to do a master's. No. Actually, the moment you finish a CPA, if you ask me, you should be given a degree and a master's at the same time. And I liked how somebody was saying here, they should even transform this thing to Kasneb University. And I always like when I see students who are making arguments like, for example, in the degree we did so many things, HIV, AIDS, great. How are those things assisting you outside here? Let's not undervalue professional qualifications. They are at a different, higher level. Higher level. They're at different, higher level. I have various degrees and I don't feel bad because I know the hell that these guys go through. I don't feel bad if CPA students can be given degrees straight up. And again, even if you have another degree from wherever, if you have been given a second degree by CASNEB, what is wrong with that? What's wrong with that? Because that is one of the things that have really been disturbing us, even at policy level. You get people, for example, who have got degrees, even in CASNEB, I mean, making an argument that the degrees are superior. No, benchmark. Go outside there. See, for example, what Rwanda is doing. A professional qualification is always given a different degree, because they're always what? Up there. They're always up there. Of course, I also know that the degree has got its, advantages. For example, you'll become a good communicator once you finish. Once you go through that stage. But at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, some of these papers you are seeing being done, like financial reporting of CPA, this FR, if you were to just expand it a little bit, even that paper can become a degree by itself. And it is the environment we find ourselves in, ladies and gentlemen. There is no way you'll tell me that you would want to have this degree older as being like a small percentage in the society. No. Trust you me, if you're a good carpenter, now we are talking of prior experience qualifications. People will be able to come and evaluate and say this guy belongs, for example, to artisan stage. This guy belongs to diploma stage. And from a diploma, I will be told like do 3 papers or 4 papers, you get a degree. A degree is not a preserve of what here very, very few people know. No. If this guy has done ATD and really has even been able to get like a lot of experience out of doing this, and then you feel that this guy can even run like a big office, and you're able to evaluate, I wish also ISPAC can come up with that criteria, you're able to evaluate, then reward this guy with that paper. Of course, you don't also make it very easy for them. You can first of all tell them you're giving them an advanced diploma, and then you tell them now you have to do like 3, 4 research papers for you to get the reference skills, for you to be able to know like how do we write a conceptual framework, etc, etc. How do I do a thesis here? How do I do a research? How do I write a research paper? All right, etc. But this thing of saying that let's lock out, no. It's called the democratization of education. It's one of those social pillars in the UN where we should be able to democratize. Anybody should be able to get this. That's why we are opening a college like the Open University of Kenya, because we'd want everybody to get these things. All right. All right. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, not unless there is there is also something that I would want to talk about. Something else I would want to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. I came to Tanzania. Tanzania, I've come to do so many things. We are opening a branch here. All right, it shall be called SBL Tanzania. SBL Tanzania. Of course, I'm not like opening it 100%. I'm opening this with friends. It will be an associate because I'm taking 25% of the shares. It will be an associate of RCM. All right. Now, this SBL Tanzania, what will it be doing? Financial reporting automation of entities. We shall be vendors of very many ERPs. Like now we are doing, like now this SBL is the one that has given I&M Bank, all right, a reconciliations tool. And Bank, ladies and gentlemen, they are able, every day they are posting so many transactions to their customers. Customers are withdrawing, so they need a lot of reconciliations. So we have given them, in this case here, a software, very good software that they're using. So it is a very good software also for the circles, all right, which they can use to reconcile. And remember, when you're talking of reconciliations, we're not only looking at like the bank reconciliation, no, like the PPE, movement register. Maybe you're a big company, like for example, IGAD. Like now we are doing a proof of concept for IGAD. They've got assets all over in this African, East African water here, in their region. They have assets wherever. So they would want, in this case, these assets here to be tagged and always a reconciliation statement here to be brought up. All right. So we have what we call Reconnect. For group consolidation software, we shall be able to partner with my current employer, Arrow. We shall be able to sell like that. So as my students, of course, shall be able to agree, like, for example, where you're working and you want, for example, like a financial reporting solution, then you call us, we make a pitch. We give you something, in this case, that is what you're legit, where, you know, there are so many guys who buy ERPs. When they buy these ERPs, we have like consultants coming from India all over, and because of a few things here and there, the projects are never complete. So you get so many guys who have got very many ERPs, but they are not able to do what here, they are not able to use them. That's quite unfortunate. So there is quite a big gap there that we would want to come and fill. So then we are opening 3 companies where RCM will be owning 25%. That is SBL, SBSL in Kenya, SBSL in Uganda, and SBSL in Tanzania. All right. So of course I can't make that investment. No. I have a specific interest in. So I'll start with Tanzania, like that. But of course, Tanzania branch can also sell to you guys in Kenya, right? Right. Ladies and gentlemen, it's always important as we get along for you to appreciate that, yes, be an accountant, but always have a digital mind. Have a digital mind and international recognitions. You will go very, very far. You'll go very far. You'll go very far. So if I close the meeting at that juncture, will there be anything wrong? And please, as we grow as a college, and of course, as an audit firm, the Auran company that I'm running here, at the end of the day, I would want a situation where we are able to, for example, absorb like 100 of our students here in terms of what year employment. So also be praying for us, because when we grow, like now, all the talk of 90% of the teachers who teach at RCM, CPA Nobat. We have in this case here, all these Steve, all those guys you're seeing around there. There's not a single person we get from outside. We always take them from our student community. All right. Like now the 3-4 guys who are working at Auran company from CPA Job Madede. These were my students. So it's a high time you get praying for us, ladies and gentlemen, get to give us jobs. Whenever you want, in this case, in financial reporting automation at your workplace, speak to us first of all, because when we grow, you will grow. And if there is any place in accountancy which can really uplift you from down there to very high levels, it is automation. Once you are that accountant who believes in automation, who is able to implement, of course, with the help of our consultants like ourselves, automated systems here for these companies, then you will not be earning less than $500,000, of course, depending on the size of the company. So automation is something you guys should be thinking about. Okay, so I'm on a holiday. I'm on holiday somewhere. I don't want to talk too much. If you want another session, you can do another session in the evening. I'll be back to Nairobi tomorrow. I'll be back to Nairobi tomorrow. About those exemptions, etc. or ISPAC leadership and make impacts. Thank you very much. That's a good prayer. Amen. And of course, if you would want to reach out to us, our number is 0719 525,000. 0719 525,000. Yes. Great, great, great. I would want to answer most of your questions, but please let me pick them up in another session, And I'm so happy because most of you currently are doing our advanced Excel. Is there anybody who is not doing a short course with us? Is there anybody who is not doing any course, short course? You need to be doing short courses with us. We have advanced Excel. We have this practical bookkeeping. You need to be doing a short course with us. Otherwise, thank you very much. If you want to reach out to us, it is 0719 525,000. Bye. Bye.